Now we're going to go down to our live remote at Canada's Wonderland with Global Zone, John Dawe.
Hi there, Loretta. Thank you so much. I'm here with Carrie Hudson, Miss Toronto. Lovely to see you, Carrie. We're here at Arthur's Bay at the Medieval Fair section of Canada's Wonderland. It's a terrific day here. It's a Salute to Italy Day. Lots of people, lots of Italians, naturally. Everyone's having a terrific time. And what do we call them? Fish bowls are so full, it's wonderful.
They're just overflowing. You wouldn't believe it.
The reaction to people to muscular dystrophy this year, this is the third year we've been at Canada's Wonderland. Last year, I think they raised at least $2,100. We're going to surpass that this year without fail. I'm here with Rick Eamon. Rick's with Bell Cellular. Second year, Rick, what is your reaction?
It's been a fantastic day, John. The people have been really digging into their pockets and contributing to such a great cause, and Bell Cellular and ourselves are happy to be here.
That's great. People are using the cellular phones here on the remote locations to phone in what the big pledges.
The larger donations, anything over $20 they're using it for.
Who's this guy beside you?
John, this is a friend of ours from England, and I had told him what we were doing here today at Wonderland, and he said it was such a super idea that he thought he'd give up a day of his holidays and come out and help participate and get into the charitable fund.
Isn't that true? Nigel Linnell from Birmingham, nice to have you with us.
Nice to be here, John.
What's been the reaction of people?
I think the majority of people have been having trouble understanding why I'm here. Rick dragged me off the golf course to come here today, so it's a well worth cause, and if there's any way that I could participate while I was here, I'd, only too welcome to help.
That's wonderful. Nigel Linnell comes over to Canada on a holiday, and he ends up being a volunteer. Bell Cellular, as always, doing a terrific job. Carrie, what's happening the rest of the afternoon for you?
Well, we're just finishing up here, and then there's a bit of a gathering at the hotel where the functions that we're just hosting just were shown, and we've had a whole busy morning at Zach's, as well as the Holiday Inn Workout Center in Mississauga. Everything's just been so marvelous. Everybody's full of enthusiasm.
It's terrific. The reaction, people like to help out. Thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Rick and Nigel. Very good of you. Now back to the hotel and Central.
All righty. There is another type of Wonderland, and that, of course, is the wonderful world of taverns. And with me is
Jenna Puri
from
Cabaret East.
And it's funny, they have had, picked up a donation yesterday. There have been places like the Day Night Tavern and everybody else. If we could get everybody out there in the entire province who has ever had a beer to send $1, we could have been off the air a long time ago. How much did you come up with?
$600, and we want to thank our customers very much for their generosity.
All right, and there's another club that Loretta is with, and she will tell you exactly what they've done. Remember, let's get those folks who have perhaps had an ale or two to call in.
Joining me now are the folks from Fogey's Lounge in Newmarket. We have Jack Blenkinsop and Kathy Cappuccini. Did I say that correctly? Now, I want you to tell me how you raised all this money for MDAC.
Well, the first thing we did was put together a group of volunteers to distribute cans throughout York region. And the festivities started on Saturday night. We had two great bands. Number one was Backstreet. They came in and played for us, and a portion of the cover charges went to MD. Saturday night we had a band called Teratuma, which played, and the cover charge went to MD from that event as well. We had the Stellar Bolorama as well in the same building as Fogey's. Donated a portion of each line of bowling to MD, and we put together a pretty good sum of money, basically.
Sounds like you've really been busy, and you have 3 envelopes for us today?
I do. We have one from Fogey's Lounge, but just before I get to that, there are a couple of people that I should thank here, and the staff has, on Saturday night and Sunday night, donated their time for muscular dystrophy. So we have a check, or I should say cash, for $1,196 from Fogey's Lounge. $472 from the bowling center, and from management $250 for a grand total of
$1,918.
Wow, that's fantastic. Okay, now we go to Mike.
Thank you very much, Loretta. You know, we've been talking to some of the MDA clients. These are families and people who are afflicted with one of the 40 neuromuscular diseases. And what we thought we'd try to tell you by having you meet these people is how a new family who finds out very early on in a baby's life that the child is affected by a neuromuscular disorder and what happens to them, how they get in touch with MDA. So we have the Turner family here. Rachel Turner, who's 4 years old, and then Joan and Philip Turner. And this is Brendan Turner, the talker of the family. He actually should have his own mic. He's 13 months old, and he has spinal muscular atrophy. Now, I guess maybe what we should do is start maybe with you, Phil. Once Brendan was diagnosed, how did you come to know MDAC?
Well, Brendan was diagnosed at Sick Kids as having spinal muscular atrophy, and they referred us to the Toronto office of MDA, and we got in touch with Janet, and we really didn't know very much about spinal muscular atrophy at the time, and we talked to Janet, received within a few days a lot of information and a lot of support as well, and we found out more about the disease that way. And
this, by the way, is Coordinator for Client Services for Southern Ontario, Janet Statlander, who just recently joined the organization, as a matter of fact. Janet, from your aspect now, what can Client Services at MDA offer for a family such as the Turners who find out that they have a child with muscular dystrophy?
Well, of course, this is a very stressful time for families, and what we try to do is to alleviate that, to be an ear at the end of the phone, really. And we also try to provide some information that will be of use to both to the families and the clients, and also to the healthcare professionals in the community who are out there to help them. Mm-hmm. We try to make sure that they're hooked up or aware of services in the community that they can access, and in that way we try to ease the passage a little bit.
On second thought, I don't think he needs a microphone. Joan, how important do you think it is that families be involved with the association or other client families?
Well, I think it's very important because without being in contact with the association, we wouldn't have known that there were these services available. For example, the brace seat that Brendan is wearing was partially funded by the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and without it, he's not able to sit up straight or hold himself well enough to feed himself or to play, and in it, he's very effective at doing those kinds of things.
So you see, that's how important it is that you continue to donate to the Muscular Dystrophy Association of Canada on our telethon, because then families like the Turners who find that they need assistance can go to muscular dystrophy, and people like Janet can help them. And I just want to quickly thank Rachel for drawing us a lovely picture of her trip to the telethon here. Thank you very much, and please keep the calls coming. Jean and Loretta, back to you.
You know, we've all seen or heard of children with muscular dystrophy, but did you know that neuromuscular diseases can affect adults anytime as well?
You know, one of the things that people don't tend to think about is when a kid has one of the muscular dystrophic diseases, that they've got mom or dad to look forward to take care of them. But what about when a parent gets it? Their big worry is who's going to take care of my kid? The dad who isn't going to be able to continue working anymore, and think about the mom who isn't going to be able to pick up her young kid, and they don't know why.
So if you want to do something about that and change it, please call in now. Don't delay. And when you call, use your Visa or MasterCard. We really need to hear from you now, please.
Only a little time left in the telethon, so now is the time to call in. If you get a busy signal, call back. The calls are starting to get busy, but please keep trying. We have to have your donation, and we have to have your donation right now. Thank you for caring.
Thank you, Loretta and Jean. Pleasure again to see these corporate sponsors who have been with us for 9 years at least as Peter's involvement for the last 9 years. The 7-Eleven Food Store Corporation. I have on my left Division Manager, Mr. Peter Flack. On my right, Laurie Kean, the Sales Manager in Sarnia, right? Hi.
Hi, how are you?
How's everything up in Sarnia?
We're doing great, thanks.
Okay, let me talk to you first. Laurie, you're a 7-Up fundraiser for MD. As a matter of fact, you're the high money raiser. How much did you raise this year?
$34,000 this year.
Did you hear that? $34,000. How did you do it?
We hold weekly bingos, and people come out and they play their bingo, and all of the proceeds, I have a lot of volunteers who I'd like to thank for their time. And we're actually going to have a bingo tonight, so 10:30 at the Indian Road Bingo in Sarnia, and I'd like to see everyone out there.
You're not going to make it back in time.
Oh, I'm not.
Okay. Thank you again, and continue good luck in your fundraising for us. All right, Peter, would you wrap up the events for 7-Eleven, please?
Pleasure. First of all, it's good to be here again, and now we have a very simple goal every year, and that is to make this year the best year ever. And I'm very happy to tell you this year is the best year ever for 7-Eleven. So a lot of projects are still underway right now. We have roofathons in Windsor, cornrows, barn dances, you name it. They're all still underway. As I said, we've had a very good year. I'd like to thank all our customers for making this possible. And so on behalf of all of the folks at 7-Eleven throughout Canada, I'd like to present you with this. If I find it, there it is. This contribution for this year in the amount of $258,744.
Did you hear that? $258,744 for the 7-Eleven Corporation. Peter, thank you very much. Thank you. Maybe we will get you, charter a jet up and get you up to your bingo going on up in Sarnia. Hey, we got a total going?
We got some good news, Michael.
Okay, well, let's change it.
We can get a drum roll. We have a new total of $1,358,091.
That is fantastic.
1-358-091. Keep the phones ringing.
Can I say one thing? You know, the 258,744 the 7-Eleven gave us, that does not go up on the board.
No, that's the spare change.
That's it, yes. What you see on the board is just the phone calls for the Ontario Pledge Centers, and that's why we ask you to, no matter what 7-Eleven gives us or the other corporate sponsors, it's the $20, the $30, and the $50 donations that you see totaled up on that $1,358,000 total.
Not to mention stuff like what's going on out at the fishbowl. We have people coming in and kids coming in. I love it. This kid comes in and he says, well, I haven't got very much. It's only $62. Feel free to come down with $62 or $6.
That's right.
We need you to come down here. Give us your pledge or give us a call.
We got a couple of things we can read here. London Firefighters and the London Knights Junior A Hockey Club are putting on an all-you-can-eat spaghetti dinner October 5th. All proceeds going to MDAC. So you people out in London, get behind that one if you will, okay?
And more spaghetti in Windsor. Today, Bentley's Roadhouse is holding an all-you-can-eat spaghetti day.
In Windsor again, Devon Plaza holding a fun day for muscular dystrophy. There'll be scavenger hunts, barbecues, a diaper derby. So a long time since I've been on that one, and a dunk tank. So again, another opportunity for Windsor people to help out.
And more fun in London, Ontario. East Park Golf Gardens has lots of activities. A hole-in-one could win you a free trip to London, England. East Park will match every dollar raised.
And remember, all the money that you send in stays in Canada.
That's right. Let's go to Vegas and Jerry and Ed.
Unlike anything anyone has ever heard. He is the epitome of a rag